Hi. So I really want to talk to you about pain and how important it is to clarify our relationship with pain when we encounter it. So basically, there are two different ways that we can experience pain. One is to be in pain, and the other is to be with pain. So to be in pain looks like a vessel. This is pain, and this is me, and I'm in pain right now. And I can navigate the world, and I can do my thing, but everything is being consumed by the experience that I'm having inside here. Doesn't matter how big the world is, this is my reality. Then there's being with pain, which looks like this. I'm just kind of all like separate from it, and it's not consuming me, and actually it's outside of me, and I can interact with it. So this is me being with pain. I can ask it questions if I want to. I can just be with it and see what it has to say. The thing about it is if we decide to be, like, it's a good way to identify what kind of relationship we have with pain is actually determining how we describe our experience of it. So how do you talk about your pain to others? Like, do you victimize yourself? Are you empowered inside of that conversation, or are you not? Like, how much push and pull are you allowing it to have? It's not your enemy either, by the way. It's it can be an ally. Pain is one of the greatest teachers. So what can this conversation offer you? It can offer you a lot. It can offer you exactly the thing you need to move into the next level of your being. But you have to be patient, and you have to be present to the lessons inside of this conversation. And that takes time. Getting to a place, a trusting place where this conversation can feel safe and coming from a place of love and trust takes time. Like, imagine how long it's taken for this to come into being. Like, why is pain here in the first place? A whole lot of programs have been running, and a whole lot of behaviors were establishing themselves and continuing for a very long time to get to a point where pain must now manifest itself in the form of whatever, in the form of physical pain, depression, anxiety, whatever. So keep that in mind. How do you describe your own pain? Are you in pain? Are you with pain? Think about it. It's really important. And if you feel like you're in pain, how can you separate yourself from it? To a point where you're with it instead of in it. Observe it. Don't let it define you. One way of doing that, you can journal, basically. You can talk to it, write to your pain. Dear pain, like, what is it that you're trying to teach me? And just like lay there with your eyes closed and see if anything surfaces. See if any like metaphors or images or memories jump out. Just write, just free write anything that comes to mind. Any pictures, anything like that. Ask questions. Another question, what do you need right now, for example? And then let your subconscious respond in symbols and metaphors and memories, whatever it needs to use to express itself to you. Sometimes it's not immediately clear also in those conversations. You may just get frustrated that it's not coming through clearly, and that's fine. If you aren't getting anything clear right away, even if you can't get a color or shape, if you're just frustrated, just write frustrated. Just write frustrated every single time. Something will change, so don't worry. You've opened up the dialogue, and that's awesome. The beginning stages of the dialogue are often really unclear also, because imagine you have a child, okay? And imagine your pain is a child and it's separate from you, and you have been keeping it locked up in a basement for who knows how long, and it's been screaming, and it's been clawing at the door like an animal, and it's been, starved, and so many terrible things have been going on. And finally, you have heard its cries, her cries. I guess we'll humanize it a little bit. And you've opened the door, and now you're in the room with this entity, okay? Let's not treat it like a monster. Let's not call it a thing. Give it a name. What does it need? Like, imagine it's a child that's been locked in the basement. You put it there. And you don't have to feel bad. You don't have to punish yourself either. Like, that just perpetuates the whole, just don't do that. Just see that that's what's going on. See that it needs love. It needs, it needs whatever. It needs support. It needs trust. And see that that's something that needs to be mended between you. Because you don't have that right now. It's clear because you've been ignoring it for so long. So you need to establish that. How can you exist in the same room together now that this is like no longer in the basement? Now this is no longer in the basement. How can you two be in the same room? It's going to take time to get to a place where those conversations feel healthy and neutral and or positive. So just have patience. Approach each conversation that you have with openness and curiosity, like it's part of a video game, like it's a challenge, okay? It has something to offer you. Like, dig into it and see what it is. Like, it's quite insistent that it gets your attention. Why do you think that is? There's something very important there, okay? Pay attention. And it's important because it's going to move you into the next level of your being. So if you want to take that on, if you want to move into the next level, then this is one way of doing it. Another way, if you don't want to be journaling and asking, having questions with your subconscious in a visual or verbal way, you can just lay in bed, for example, or in the float tank if you want, and just be with your pain and listen to your body. Just lay there and be present to anything that surfaces inside of your physical experience. So you're laying there, and now you've got a flicker of a twinge in your eyebrow, and then maybe you've got a flicker of pain in your right shoulder, and then maybe some tension in your lower back. And every time you notice a little bit of that, just do a little body scan, notice your body, where those areas light up, okay? And then once you feel pretty familiar with like the patterns that are kind of happening there, say you've got some really serious physical pain going on, okay? Maybe it's almost unbearable, or whatever it is. Maybe it's just really, really hot and really asking for your attention. You're kind of squirming and wanting to resist it. One thing you can do is just really concentrate on the very center point of that pain. So say I have like really intense pain in my kneecap or under my knee, and it's searing and it's hot and it's I want nothing to do with this. Go away. Instead, it's more like, okay, I hear you. Like, there you are. Like, you want my attention. What do you need right now? Okay, awesome. I feel you. Like, maybe that's all it needs. Maybe it just needs to be felt. So, okay, let's just be with it. I feel you. The very center point. Concentrate on the very center of it. The center of that pain. Okay, so you're feeling it completely, and then imagine like it's an ink blob on your knee or wherever you hurt. Put water on it and then like spread it out. You're not asking the ink to go away. You're just making it a little less concentrated in that center point. You're just stretching it out, spreading it outwards, okay? So it's all allowed to be there. You're just moving it a little bit so that it's not so intense, okay? You're just giving it permission to not be so intense in that one area. And you'll notice that the pain eases off a little bit when you do that. Something to do with the area around the pain. I feel like it has a lot to do with the resistance that we build up around the actual pain point. If we address that area, like if we imagine it softening, opening, if we just imagine a spaciousness there, that it's not so compressed inside of itself, it spreads out and it is less intense. The metaphor can be different for you if you want. It doesn't have to be an ink blob. It could be I don't know, like a corridor of like light channels opening up. You can imagine like a hallway opening, like the blockage pushing outwards, whatever works for you. Sometimes it's also helpful if this is painful for you, your kneecap. Say you imagine your right hip and then your right big toe, and you imagine the connection between those 2 points, and you imagine it as a channel of light or energy moving through that channel, and any areas that the energy seems to get stuck in that realm, you concentrate on those areas. So if you stop feeling the energy, okay, obviously there's a blockage here, and you just start imagining it opening so that that communication between those 2 points can be more open and fluid. So yeah, those are a couple things that you can try in communicating with your pain. I don't know, I think this is an important subject. It's not the last time I think I'll be talking about this, but it's just something I wanted to mention. It's a really common subject at work. Pain and fear, those are two of the most common things that I talk about at the center, and really want to open the dialogue here and have that be an ongoing conversation, because we all experience pain, and it doesn't necessarily have to involve the tank, but it's important to identify the kinds of relationships that we have with ourselves, and it's important to recognize that we are empowered even inside of experiences like that. We have the power to distinguish ourselves from this whole equation. You know, we can convert our realities. We're like the architects of our own realities. Like, we have this kind of power. So why not harness it a little bit? These are all opportunities for us to do that. So receive it. Receive it as a gift. This is a gift. It's a gift. You get it? Like, all this pain and discomfort, it's all trying to teach you something. That's the only reason it exists, is because there's something to be learned there. If there was nothing to be learned, you would not feel challenged by it. So just remember that. It's a message I obviously needed to hear as well. Yeah, that's all I have at the moment. But yeah, I'm feeling like I'm gonna be hopefully trying to produce a few more of these more consistently. I'm also moving through my own blockages and things in life, and dealing with my own kinds of pain, my own experiences of pain. So I just kind of wanted to address it, talk about it directly, and honor it in opening up the conversation to a digital platform too, because it's not me pushing it back into the basement and saying you don't exist. It's me saying, hi, okay, there you are, and you exist, and I'm going to tell a bunch of strangers that you exist also. So anyways, that's it, and yeah, I hope maybe this offers something to you. If nothing else, I really do appreciate that you are listening, and I appreciate the subscriptions, and I'm not expecting every morning I see my inbox and someone subscribed to me, and I'm very shocked every single time I see that, but it feels amazing, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something right, like I'm aligning myself on my authentic path. It feels right. I feel like I'm being received, like I'm coming out to the world, and it's really very special experience. This whole YouTube channel thing has been quite lovely. So yeah, thank you so much for your time and attention, and I appreciate anyone who feels like they want to subscribe. I really appreciate it. So awesome. And yeah, let me know if there's any subjects that you want me to touch on. Maybe that's a way of using our dynamic as a teacher-student thing. Maybe you guys can be my teacher, and maybe I can be your student, and maybe it can go both ways. You know, if I have something to offer you and you have something to learn from these conversations, then awesome. I would love it to be a cyclical thing, though. So yeah, let's see what kind of learnings can be established inside of all of this. That would be great. Let me know what you're thinking, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye.